We're Hassani and Danielle Pettiford, and we're a real couple with real problems who almost called it quits.
I was very frustrated. I became very disconnected, very jaded and cold.
We have 4 children, going on 20 years of marriage, and we practice what we preach.
Our mission, to change the way couples relate to one another and teach them the skills needed to improve the quality of their relationships. This is the Couples Academy Show.
Good morning. Good morning. Happy Tuesday, everyone. I want to say thank you so much for joining. My name is Lakeisha Hines, and you are watching the Couples Academy Show or listening to the Couples Academy Show. We appreciate you guys showing up here every single day with us and working toward improving your relationships, your marriages, your partnerships. And we are just happy that we can be a part of that and assist you guys with your journey toward transformation. We have an awesome, awesome show for you today. Can't wait to get into that. I see that we already have some people joining, and welcome, welcome, welcome. We will have just a quick commercial and then we'll go ahead and get our show started today. Thank you so much again for joining, and you're in for a treat. Good morning. For those of you just joining, I just want to say welcome. My name is Lakeisha Hines again, and you are watching the Couples Academy Show. Today, we are talking about brush fires in your marriage. And so, not sure if you guys are familiar with brush fires at all, but it's a type of fire that's not actually huge. It's not big. It's something that's small, but if it's not handled, it can definitely turn into something bigger. So when I reference brush fires, I'm really talking about relational fires, and they can be so many different things. They can be flames of anger, flames of frustration, or pent up feelings between you and your spouse who are in a loving relationships. They can ignite out of nowhere. They can burn quickly. And most importantly, they can leave destruction in their wake. So while they may seem small, they're mighty, because if they are not handled properly, they can turn into something significantly larger. One thing that I do want you to know also about brush fires, which is a positive, is that they are largely stoppable. And that's exactly what we want to do, is we want to stop them before they turn into a fire, right? We want to make sure that we definitely stop them before they turn into something huge and destroy everything in their path. So, what causes these brush fires or these relational fires? Many, many things. Top reasons: saying things that you regret. How often do you say something to your spouse, and the minute you say it, you see the look on their face, you see their body language, they may respond with a negative tone, or you just get this negative vibe and you recognize automatically that, man, that probably was not something good for me to say. Poor body language, like rolling your eyes, deep sighs, slamming doors or cabinets, um anything that again looks off-putting or comes off negative or rude or disrespectful to your spouse. Then tone. I've been talking lately about coming in hot. Those of you with that pop off spirit and responding in a negative way with your tone can definitely cause a brush fire. We talk about the 7 38 55 rule that 7% of our communication is actually our words, which the example I gave about saying things that you regret, so that would be your words. And then 38% is actually your tone, and that would be coming in hot, like I was talking about. And then that 55% is actually your body language. And the examples I gave was rolling your eyes, deep sighs, slamming doors, looking away, not making eye contact, having your lips not smiling. um, Anything that again would send a message to your partner that you're either unhappy, dissatisfied, um, you're angry with what they're saying or what they're doing. So, just an example to drive this home and make sure it's clear. You and your spouse might be having a normal, casual conversation. Nothing deep, enjoying each other, just having a good conversation. And then you or your spouse get an idea, and then you suggest something, and the spouse shoots it down immediately without any thought, any consideration. They don't ask any questions. They're just like, nope, I don't agree with that. I don't want to do that. I don't think it's a good idea. And just no, and completely shut it down. That exact moment can spark a relational fire. You went from enjoying your quality time and conversing together to bickering back and forth. Now, this seems like a really small thing, right? Wrong. There is no such thing as a small problem. Small problems are big problems that haven't fully matured yet. Just like a brush fire, when you think about it, it's a small fire that hasn't matured yet. So, if you want to have a healthy relationship, a healthy marriage, you have to learn how to quench relational fires as they pop up. It is nearly impossible to avoid them starting, but what is possible is stopping them before they turn into huge problems. So, we definitely want to give you some tips, tools, strategies, things that will help you to be able to stop these brush fires before they actually turn into a wildfire, because that is not what we want. But before we do that, I want to acknowledge the folks who are joining us today. Hi, Nina. Hello, Jackie, Marchant, Jairus, JJ, Shalise, James. Gonzalez, good morning. What's up, my brother Gonzalez? Hi, Dee Dee, Tori, Debbie, and Jody. Miss Jules, hello, my sister Nellie, Michael. All right, did I miss anybody? Oh, Jaguar, Valencia, Ralph, Andrea, Tammy, Angela, Tamika, and Denise. Thank you guys for joining us. I so appreciate it. Hello, Firepath Art. I love that name. Hi, Kay. Good to see you. So we're going to take a quick break, you guys, and then we'll get into how to stop these brush fires. I want to talk to you guys about Last Chance Weekend last month. Oh my gosh. Or I'm saying last month, we're still in March. This month, phenomenal, as always, amazing. Couples coming in hopeless and couples leaving out hopeful. So I just want you guys to see just a little bit about Last Chance Weekend. If you have any questions, always reach out, let us know. But man, you missed an awesome time. All right, you guys, last chance weekend coming up next month, April 8th through the 10th. You must be in the house, you guys. Oh my gosh. Like I said, such a phenomenal encounter, such an amazing experience. There are no words to describe what takes place during Last Chance weekend. It's magical. I mean, there's no other way to describe it. I am so honored to be a part of it and just having the opportunity to facilitate transformation, to guide couples through healing and just new discoveries and man, it's powerful. It's powerful. And so we could use all the words in the dictionary, but it still would not help to prepare you for what you get when you get there. All right, so we're talking about brush fires today and how to extinguish them. That's where we are now, how we are going to quench the relational fires as they pop up. And so, the first thing we want to do when a relational fire pops up is stay calm. That is number one. Um, Anytime two people have gotten into an argument or a disagreement, the first thing that happens is you get this sensation all throughout your body. You feel heat, right? So when you feel the heat, you have to start taking some deep breaths. People stop breathing. You see this, they're all puffed up, right? So the first thing we have to do is start taking some deep breaths so that we can stay calm. And the more we're able to breathe, the more we're able to get oxygen to that brain. And when the brain gets that oxygen, it can function properly and can help you to minimize the emotions. And that's usually what happens when we get emotional. That's when we stop thinking logically and then we just spew out whatever comes out of our mouths, right? So we want to make sure the first thing we do is to stay calm. The second thing you want to do is take cover. So, um, think about a regular fire, right? If you see one coming, whether it is outside or it's inside of your home, you want to take cover, right? So, the way that I'm referencing cover at this particular point in time is, man, my covering is the Lord. And so I have to make a connection with him before I move forward. But I'm going to give you 4 P's that will help you to take cover. The first one is to pause, right? We've already took our deep breaths and we're allowing that oxygen to get to the brain. And then we still need to pause. You're pausing so that you can think about really what is your issue. Did your spouse say something that triggered you? Did your spouse say something that was just flat out rude? Did your spouse say something that was hurtful? Or is it you? Is it not necessarily what your spouse said, but something that is going on with you? So you need to pause so you can ponder, right, over what's really bothering you. The second P is position. And so I'm saying take cover, but you really do need to sometimes change your position. And what I mean by that is if your posture is up, you're tight, you need to lower those shoulders, right? If your posture is one of looking away, not making eye contact, looking down, or, you're like, really like, oh my gosh, can you just hurry up and get this over with? Or whatever the posture might be. Sometimes the position is literally changing locations. Sometimes your position needs to not be in the same room with your spouse or your partner at that particular time because you're not in a space where you can communicate effectively, efficiently, and without emotion. So you may need to take a break and say, you know what? I'm really upset right now. I need to take a moment, need to take a little time out, take a break, and then I can come back and we can continue this conversation. So sometimes you literally have to change your position. The third P is to pray. And literally, as I said, sometimes I just have to connect with my higher power because I may be so upset in that moment that I can't calm down um, in and of my own strength. And so I will, when I change my position, I will go pray. And then once I'm calm, then I can come back. So the last four is last P, the fourth P is proceed. So once you have paused, once you changed your position, if you need to, once you have prayed, then you proceed. Because by that time, you should be calm. You should get your words and your thoughts and everything together and be able to communicate in an efficient, effective, non emotional way. Okay. And then, of course, if you have difficulty putting out these relational fires consistently on a regular basis, and the first two items did not help you, then you call 911. Just like a fire, you need to call 911 so you can get the fire department to come and help you out. Now, in our instances, in our situation, you call Couples Academy, everybody. Call Couples Academy so we can be your firemen and firewomen and it helped to extinguish those fires. We definitely want to help you guys be able to, again, do this on your own, right? But if you can't until you get to that place, then you definitely need to contact Couples Academy so that we can help. And the first thing you need to do is call Hassani for that discovery call. Reach out to him, let him know, hey, I was watching the show. I heard Lakeisha. We're having these relational brush fires, and we need you to be our fireman or get one of these other practitioners to be our firefighter to help us learn how to extinguish these fires on our own. But for right now, we need you to be the firefighter and help put some of these relational fires out. Hopefully this is helping you guys. Like I really, really am able to identify on my own end with early in my marriage with having these relational fires that kept popping up and couldn't pinpoint it, couldn't put a finger on it, trying to figure out like why does this keep happening? And so sometimes you do need assistance. You need someone to help you get to the root of what's causing these fires, what continues to spark these relational fires. So the next thing I want to talk to you guys about is two types of love: wildfire or bonfire, right? Some relationships feel like a wildfire. They're powerful, they're compelling, they're majestic, but they're also dangerous because they have the capability to burn you before you even realize you've been consumed. Then there are the relationships that get better the longer they last. These relationships are like a bonfire. They're solid, they're stable, cozy, and encouraging. It's like a wall that you can lean on and it gives you warmth. So I don't know about you, but I'm trying to have bonfire type of love. I've had the wildfire. I've experienced that. I already know what that turns into and what that looks like. That is destruction. So I want bonfires. I want that bonfire type of love that just gets better over time, that flame just keeps getting hotter and hotter over time, if you know what I mean. So again, I hope this is something that helped you guys this morning. And I just want to go to some of the comments here and see if there are any questions or any comments that we need to share. Good morning to you all. Good morning. Good morning. All right. Oh, my husband came to Last Chance Weekend this month. Gonzalez says it was a great time meeting your boo, his new brother. I love it. That's right. That is my boo. That's still my boo. It'll always be my boo. All right. Fire Path Art wants to know. Oh, you're in Sweden. Oh my gosh. Welcome. So, your question is, what if your spouse is unwilling to acknowledge that they are, in fact, fire starters? Boy, you are speaking my language. So, fire path art, one of the things that I talk about all the time is this pop off spirit, right? And really what that is, it's someone who they oftentimes will react without thinking. And then they come in aggressive, like hot, right? It's just they're angry, they're frustrated, and you can see it all over their face. It's in their body language, it's an energy that they're giving off. And so, if a lot of times they don't even know, they don't even recognize that they're doing it. So, for me, you have to call them out right when it happens. And you said they're unwilling to acknowledge that they're in fact fire starters, you have to call them out right on the spot. Do not wait, right? Do not wait. Call them out. You've already had a conversation, hopefully. So let's back up. Let's say you didn't have a conversation, but I think you did because you said they're unwilling to acknowledge it. So you've already had a conversation. And for those of you who this question is resonating with you, have a conversation first. Let them know that, listen, sometimes when you communicate with me, it's aggressive, it's you're angry, there's a tone or body language, whatever it is, right? Call it out. Let them know. And then if they are unable or unwilling to acknowledge it, then when you're in that moment and they actually do start that fire, communicate it. Let them know right then and there. Call them out. Don't do it in a rude, disrespectful way, of course, but make sure that you call them out so that they're able to recognize, and you continue to do that until they can see it for themselves. So that would be my advice for that, because like I said, a lot of times people, they have no clue whatsoever, and don't even know that that's what's happening. Alrighty. So Jaguar, you say, I don't yell or come at him in an angry manner, no matter how mad or hurt I am. I try to be calm and civil, but then I'm accused of being passive aggressive. I can't win. What can I do? So, Jaguar, just on the surface, what this sounds like, sis, is it may be the words. It may be the words, because you're saying that you're calm and civil, but you're being accused of being passive aggressive. So a lot of times when people are being accused of being passive aggressive, it's actually the words that they're using. So what I would do is I would ask, give me examples of how I'm being passive aggressive, and let him confirm or correct what I'm saying. Because like I said, sometimes it's not even the tone, it's not the body language, it's the words themselves. So maybe it's a different way that your spouse or partner needs you to communicate to them. I wonder if their primary love language is words of affirmation. And the reason why I say that is because for those who have words of affirmation as their primary love language, they have a tendency to, they're very sensitive to words. Okay. So I would ask, um, what causes your spouse or partner to feel as if you're being passive aggressive. Have them give you examples. And then if you don't know their primary love language, take the quiz. It's free, right? Just Google 5 love languages by Dr. Gary Chapman. Go to his website. It's a test. You can take it. It's so important to know that what you're both what you both primary and secondary love languages are. But I wonder if words of affirmation is one of them. So you have to, if you already know, let me know. But if you don't know, take the test and then come back and let us know, because I'm curious to see if that may be what's happening. And the fact that you say, I can't win, yes, you can. Yes, you can. Words have power. Don't put that negative energy out there that you can't win. Yes, you can. You just may need to change up your tactic. You need to change up your strategy, right? You need to fix a different set. You know what I mean when I say fix your set? Fix your set. You might need to fix a different set. And maybe the approach or strategy that you're using is not working for your particular partner or spouse. It may work for others, but not work for the person who you are sharing your life with and in this intimate romantic relationship with. So you may just need to switch up how you go about doing things and see if that helps. Okay. Alrighty, where are we? Nina said, this is good, Lakeisha. Okay, good, Nina. That's what I need to know. That's what I need to hear. And LOL, yes, 911. Yes, yes. Couples Academy, not the real 911. I mean Couples Academy 911. Like immediately. Ashanti, what happens if your spouse doesn't pray? This is not uncommon. It is very common that there may be one who does and one that does not. You continue to pray on their behalf, and you pray that they begin to have the connection with a higher power as you do, and you continue to show up the right way, continue doing the right thing. See, we have to model the behavior that we want to see. And so, one of the things truly that will hinder a non believer from becoming a believer is if they cannot see the fruit from a believer. If they see believers preaching something, but not practicing it, it will deter them, hinder them, discourage them from moving forward in that direction because they don't see the fruit. And what do I mean by the fruit? They don't see, like, you plant a seed, there should be fruit that develops, right? If you plant a tree. So if you have a seed planted in you, you go to church every Sunday or wherever it is that you might go, or you're listening to a sermon online or whatever the case may be, and there's no change in behavior, then they feel like you're a hypocrite. So be mindful of that. Be mindful of that. And I'm not saying they're not a believer just because they don't pray doesn't mean that they're not a believer, but encourage them to pray. Pray with them, initiate the prayer, and pray for them that they will seek and desire that connection with God the way that you do, that I'm assuming that you do. Okay, hopefully that helps. Oh, Mr. Carter, thank you for allowing me to be your firefighter. And it was my honor and it was my pleasure. I love it. I love it. All right, Denise. I see you, sis. Denise said, I want bonfires too. That's what I'm talking about. Exactly. Oh, man. All right. And so then you say, staying calm and changing my position is a challenge when triggered. I know. I know. It's like a muscle, right? You have to exercise it. It just has to become a part of your everyday life. And the more you do it, the easier it becomes. Um, everything is here, right? It's mental. And so you have to tell yourself when you feel the heat, when you feel that heat rising, stay calm, stay calm, stay calm in your mind. Sometimes you have to say it out loud. Stay calm, stay calm, stay calm. Change your position, like leave the room, leave the space before you have a chance to say anything. And if you pray, pray and ask God to bridle your tongue. Literally use those words. Bridle my tongue. This tongue, when I tell you, it is like a match. Do you know what I'm talking about? It literally is like the matchbox, the tongue. And it is the smallest thing that we have almost on our bodies, right? One of the smallest, but it causes the most damage. It causes the most wildfires, brush fires, right? So we have got to learn to control that tongue when we are triggered because that sparks the flame that turns that brush fire into a wildfire. First of all, it's what ignites the brush fire in the first place, and then it will then turn that brush fire into a wildfire if we don't quench that. Okay. So I'm stressing change your position if you are struggling to control your tongue, because if you're in another space, you can't say nothing to your partner or to your spouse. So really focus on mentally or verbally stay calm as you are changing your position until you are calm to be able to continue that conversation. All right, Andrea, how do you handle a spouse who is not willing to give you that space to take a break when things get heated in an argument? So, I mean, honestly, the reality of this situation is it's inappropriate and it is unacceptable. No one should ever prevent anyone from leaving any space to take a break or do anything else when you're heated in an argument. It's for their own good. That is something that literally has to be stressed to your spouse, that is unacceptable and it cannot happen. It cannot continue. No one has the right to prevent anyone from leaving a space for any reason, but especially when they're in a heated argument. So reach out, get support. Maybe when conversations are taking place, that is what I call SSM, sensitive subject matter. Um, Maybe it needs to be communicated in an open space. If you know that you need to talk about something sensitive. So again, with these brush fires, a lot of times you don't know when they're going to happen, right? So you can't prepare for them. But if you know you're going to have a SSM conversation, sensitive subject matter conversation, then perhaps that needs to be in an open space. Perhaps that needs to be outside in your backyard, or that needs to be, let's go drive to a park and we go sit there and talk, or let's go to the beach, or I don't know where you live. So you may not have beach. I'm in Florida, so it's beaches everywhere. Sorry if you're not near a beach, but you may need to be in an open space so that you cannot be confined to a room or, wherever it is that you are. But definitely get help, seek help, because that, again, that's unacceptable. Okay. Mm, Good point, Gonzalez. He says your approach and tones will determine how you start your fire. Yes, that is so good. Absolutely. Don't come in hot. Come in cool. And then make sure that, throughout the conversation, you maintain that tone. That is so good. Oh my gosh, you guys, this is insane to me that we have already been here 30 minutes. Good gosh, where does the time go? Right out the window. Man, again, I hope this was helpful for you all. Thank you so, so much for joining us today. We will be Hassani and Danielle, or Hassani will be back tomorrow. So please make sure that you tune in and post any questions that I didn't get to. We definitely do our best to try to answer those. But you guys, I hope you have a phenomenal day, and that I hope you have a phenomenal day and an awesome week. And we hope to see you back here tomorrow. So thank you so much. And make sure you tune in every single day. Like, subscribe, share, tell all your folks. Thank you guys. Have a good day.
To the wives struggling to move forward, I know that you're hurt, filled with doubt, fear, anger, and resentment. I know you're trying to be your best self throughout this recovery process, all while still having to be mom, daughter, sister, friend, and so much more. I know it feels impossible to be there for everyone else when at times your journey feels so isolated and alone. I know that more than once a day, you scream on the inside, I can't take this anymore. I know there are days when you feel like you want to give up and run away. I know you spend too much time sitting in your car parked in the driveway to get your head right so that you can keep moving. I know this feels like a lot of work with no guarantees. And I know you wonder, what happened to me? Who am I? And why am I here? More than you'd like to admit. I know all of this because I once felt the way you do too. It may not be evident by looking around because we all wear our masks, but you're not the only one who feels like you'll never get back to you. That's why I've launched Unearthed. Unearthed is a 12-week group coaching program focused on discovering the woman within. Just as the earth hides all kinds of precious stones waiting to be found, buried within every woman are the seeds of wisdom, strength, purpose, and passion waiting to be brought to the light. Unearthed will take you through a spiritual, emotional, and physical excavation process that will reveal to you who God designed you to be and guide you through a process to embrace and activate your true identity. When you complete this journey, you'll have a new focus aligned with your core values so that you can begin to feel your life again and discover that your gifts aren't buried, but planted and waiting to be unearthed. Register today.